Hey Geek fam, Joshua here. Welcome to the Geek Impulse YouTube channel. I just got done posting about Captain Marvel not too long ago. However, a lot of stuff happened last night. So without further delay, let me get right into it. So last night during the Black Panther premiere, the Instagram story started panning the banners when they went past one of them that said Ant-Man and Wasp trailer tomorrow. So that is what we got. That trailer coming out for Ant-Man and Wasp, which comes out this summer. In the trailer, though, they made sure to let us know that this is taking place after Civil War, so that's pretty important. The movie itself will be coming out July 6th. As it stands, in a few weeks we will get Black Panther, which is my second favorite Marvel character. Then in a couple months after that, we get the Infinity War. Then after that, a couple months, we get Ant-Man and Wasp, so that's pretty cool. That will then take us all the way to 2019 and bring us, of course, to Avengers 4 and Captain Marvel. If you haven't seen or listened to my Captain Marvel breakdown, then be sure to check that out. I will leave the link in the description below. We will also be getting Spider-Man Homecoming 2 in 2019 as well. And since we are starting to get into the last phase of movies before the start of a whole new phase for the MCU and a whole new slate of movies, there are a lot of big movies coming out over the next 18 months or so. So be on the lookout for that. One thing that I think is really awesome about this trailer is that we are seeing that Marvel is actually bringing Janet Van Dyne into the MCU. You didn't get to see her in the first Ant-Man movie other than the suit. In the trailer, they also tease about being on the run because of what happened during Civil War. So if you're not caught up, I suggest watching Captain America Civil War before Black Panther comes out, and especially before Infinity War. These characters in the trailer are very much involved in the next Avengers film, so that's pretty important. But there is no really concrete evidence in the trailer as to where in the timeline this is all taking place, other than it's after Civil War. I'm guessing Janet Van Dyne comes out of the quantum realm, not knowing, of course, what has actually been transpiring since she's been there. She's been in there since the Cold War, so that should give you a pretty big idea of how long she's been there. We get the flashback of her in the first Ant-Man film, which seems to be set in the 80s for that flashback. Michelle Pfeiffer, by the way, will come out of the quantum realm playing Janet, so that's pretty cool. She's going to be Wasp, the original. You can verify this on IMDb as well, so a lot of stuff, just to verify, you can go on IMDb and it's usually listed there. In the trailer, we see a tiny ship, so I'm kind of speculating that it is probably how they are able to get her from the quantum realm, so it'll be interesting to see if that's really what happens, but that's my speculation right now. A lot of what I see from the villains has me also convinced that it's taking place in the quantum realm itself. It's been alluded to the fact there is an entire civilization that lives in that realm. It's similar to what they touched on in my favorite Marvel characters film, Doctor Strange. So number one is Doctor Strange, for those of you who care. Number two is Black Panther. Those are my top two. I'm not going to get into my top ones maybe someday if somebody asks, but those are my top two favorite. They mentioned multiple realms in that Doctor Strange film, so that's why I wanted to reference back to that. And it also makes me curious to see just how they tie that in or have villains from that realm explained. We also have Walter Goggins, if you remember who he is. He's been in a lot of Quentin Tarantino films. He'll be playing Sonny Birch, who is the main baddie in the film for Ant-Man and Wasp. He isn't a huge character in Ant-Man, so it is safe to say they are saving some of the bigger ones for a later film. Digressing back to them being on the run, though, it really started because Hank Pym, for the longest time, even when he was a part of S.H.I.E.L.D., didn't want his technology getting into the S.H.I.E.L.D.'s hands or the government's hands, so that's why he's been on the run. I also want to touch on how they're using the shrinking and growing tech. I think it's super cool. Especially like in the scene, for example, in the trailer where they make a Hello Kitty Pez dispenser grow as it's being shot at an enemy on a motorcycle. Well, that was a pretty cool little scene there in the trailer. You also get to see that Hank Pym built into his building an actual suitcase handle. So when they shrink it, it can be easily moved. Kind of like, hey, I need to move my building. I'm just going to go ahead and take this like as if I'm going to the to LAX or something. So that was pretty comedic, if you ask me. It's pretty cool though. It makes it easily be able to be moved, so that's pretty cool, especially being on the run. So it would seem that they're, again, trying to implement more comedy into this film, like they attempted to in Civil War. I think that's kind of what the MCU is attempting to do, is put some more comedic relief there. So that's pretty cool to see. We get to see the Ant-Man mobile with what looks like to be built by Pimtech, right? So there's some Pimtech built in, which is really cool. Then we see Lawrence Fishburne, and I don't know about you, but if you're like me, I was wondering who the heck is he playing? So what it turns out is he is playing a character that is similar to Giant Man. The character he will be playing is called Goliath, and for those of you who are not aware, Goliath is like a backup Avenger who joined them way later on in the team, like way later in Avengers. But he was responsible for getting rid of some of the negative side effects of the Pym tech, and he's the one that perfected the Pym particles. So he played a major role with the Pym tech. So it'd be interesting to see how he plays out in this film. If I'm not mistaken, in the comics, he actually made Hank Pym kind of go crazy. So I'm not going to get into that. That can be something for another film, but definitely check that out and see what that references back to. It would be cool, though, also if we get to see some flashbacks of Hank Pym and Janet Dine when they were like, those secret superheroes back before superheroes were out there, in the public eye so much. And we haven't seen Michelle Pfeiffer yet as Janet Van Dyne. We have seen her on the set, but nothing in any kind of suit. So as soon as we do, we definitely talk about that. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that. And as I mentioned previously, if we actually get to see some villains from the Quantum Realm, that would be really cool. So post all your questions below in the comments, Geek Impulse fam. I will do my best to answer everything in the comments. There's obviously a lot of Black Panther stuff happening as we get even closer to its release. This weekend, the Super Bowl trailers will be dropping. I'm anticipating some new Marvel stuff, which I will talk about once they come. So be sure to subscribe to stay up to date with everything going on. Thank you so much for watching, Geek fam. I look forward to reading your comments. Be sure to check us out on social as well. We will be doing a giveaway soon on our Instagram at Geek Impulse, so definitely head on over there and check us out. I'm going to end this video here. Have a great day. Peace.